Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you all are doing extremely well. So today in this video we are going to solve one of the problem of Geeks for Geeks, that is merge without using extra space. So there are two arrays given to you and you have to merge them in a specific way. We'll be exploring all the things. So without much ado, let's discuss the question first. But before proceeding further in the video, make sure to subscribe this channel if you haven't subscribed our channel till now, and be a part of our Telegram channel as well. The link for the Telegram channel is given in the description itself. Okay, now let's discuss the question. So the question says, given two sorted arrays ARR1 and ARR2 of sizes n and m. So there are two arrays of different sizes, ARR1 and ARR2, in non-decreasing order, right? So what you have to do is you have to merge them in sorted order without using any extra space. You don't have to use any extra space and you have to merge them. Modify ARR1 so that it contains the first 10 elements, and modify ARR2 so that it contains the last 10 elements. So this is how you have to modify first array as well as the second array. Let's understand about this with the help of an example. So here you can see this example is provided to us. Now ARR1 has 4 elements. That's what they have given in the input, that n equal to 4, ARR1 equal to these elements, that is 1, 3, 5, 7. And our next array, it consists of 5 elements. These are the elements given, 0, 2, 6, 8, 9. So according to them, what you have to do, you have to modify ARR1 so that it contains the first 10 elements of the sorted process, of the sorted array that you are expected to get, and ARR2 will be having last m elements. So if we are combining this and this, the sorted array should be like, on combining these two arrays, it should be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 4 isn't here, sorry. 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So your first array, that is ARR1, should contain n elements. What is n? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 elements should be in ARR1. You can see that's what we are having in the output. And ARR2 should contain the remaining n elements, that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is what we are having in ARR2. So that's how you have to do the modification. You can see after merging the two non-decreasing arrays, we get 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's understand with the help of another example as well. Let's suppose that n equal to 2 you are having. So ARR1 is having 10, 12 elements, and m value is 3. ARR2 is having elements 5, 18, 20. So now if you're going to merge these two arrays, these two sorted arrays, what should be the resultant array? That should be 5, 10, 12, 18, 20, right? 5, 10, 12, 18, 20. So ARR1 should have first n elements, that is 5, 10, and remaining m elements should be in our ARR2. While there are multiple approaches for solving this particular problem, we'll be discussing one of the approaches of them, and there's a very famous approach, that is gap approach. And in the Geeks for Geeks also, like Geeks for Geeks has provided a proper article regarding this gap approach. In this video we are not going to cover it. I'll be providing you the link of the article, and in some another video we are going to cover this approach as well. Okay, so the approach that I'm going to tell you for solving this problem is, see, what we can do is that, let's suppose these are the array elements of ARR1, 1, 3, 5, 7, and this is having 0, 2, 6, 8, 9. So we'll be comparing this element. We'll be starting from this element, that is this element at the zeroth index of ARR1, to the first element itself. So you have to check. What we have to check, that if this element itself is the ith element of the ARR1 array is what is greater than that of the first element of ARR2. If it is so, what we are going to do is we are going to swap the values. So the 0 will come here and 1 will go there, right? Okay, so as of now, see, you have to make sure one thing as well, that after this swapping, your array 2 should be sorted itself, right? It should be sorted. So after swapping here, you can see now by chance this 1 was proper at its position when kept in ARR2. We'll be checking this for further elements also. So now what do we have is, we are going to compare this element with this 1. We are comparing with the first element of ARR2. So here you can see what? That this is greater than that of the first element of ARR2. So again, we are going to do the swapping. So here 3 will come. But now, if you can see that 3 is not at its proper position, so that I was saying before, that by chance here 1 was at proper position, right? But here you can see 3 is not at its proper position, and it is clearly specified that array 2 is sorted. So what we have to do is that we have to make sure to put this element to its proper position. So what its proper position is going to be? This one. So 2 will come here and 3 will go there. Right? Now we have to compare this 5 with this 2. So if you will see, what we can see that this ith element is greater than that of the 0th element of ARR2. Again, we are going to do the swapping. So we'll be having 0, 1, 2, 7. Now 5. So if we will place 5 at the 0th position of ARR2, is it its correct position? No, right? So what is the correct position of 5? Here, in between 3 and 6. So we'll be placing 5 at its correct position, that is 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. Now this element, this ith element of ARR1, we are going to compare with the 0th element of ARR2. So again, you can see 7 is greater than that of 3. So what will happen? Swapping. 0, 1, 2, 3, 7, 5, 6, 8, 9. So again, you can see 7 is not at its correct position. So we have to place it at its correct position. So 5, 6, here it should be, right? Let me write it again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now you can see the task that was given to us, that ARR1 should consist of first n sorted element, and then ARR2 should contain the remaining sorted m elements. We have achieved that task. You can see ARR1 is having 0, 1, 2, 3, and ARR2 is having 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? So what actually the logic in this question was that we'll be comparing one by one the ith element of ARR1 to the first element of ARR2. If the current element in ARR1 on which we are, if it is greater than that of the 0th element of ARR2, we are going to do the swapping. Now after swapping, you have to make sure that the new element which you have got in ARR2 should be at its correct position, because we have to make sure that ARR2 remain sorted even after swapping. So you have to check this part as well. You have to make sure that the swapped element which you have got from ARR1 should be placed at its correct position in ARR2. So these are the two things that we have to check. I hope the logic is pretty much clear to you. Then let's jump to the coding part, right? So here is the function where you have to implement your logic. So the function consisting of these arguments, that is ARR1, ARR2, the size of array ARR1, and the size of array ARR2, that is M. So first of all, we'll be starting with our external loop, that is for int I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Now we have to check what? We have to check that the ith element on which we are currently in ARR1, if it is greater than that of the 0th element of ARR2. So as discussed during the logic, what we have to do is we have to do the swapping. So what we are doing here is we are doing the swapping. Now, you know that the swapped element which we have got from ARR1 must be on the position of ARR2 0. So we are storing in this variable first. Now, what you have to make sure? You have to make sure that this element, this new element which you have got now, should be placed at its correct position in ARR2. For example, we got something like 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just for understanding purpose, I'm saying. So this 3 we got, right? So this is not the correct position. This is not the correct position. 3 should be after 2. So that's why we are putting this for loop to check if to place this 3 to its correct position, or to place any element that we have got to its correct position. So we'll be taking this loop for j equal to 1. We have to continue in this loop till the time j value is lesser than that of m, and also the jth element on which we are currently in ARR2 should be lesser than that of the element, that is 3. As of now, if we are putting this ARR2 0, so that is nothing but 3. So we have to continue in this loop till the time these two conditions are true, because our main motive of putting this loop is what? To get the proper position where this 3 should be placed, right? So you will check ARR2 of J, it means ARR1. 1 is what? ARR1 is what? 2. So 2 is lesser than that of 3. 2 is lesser than that of 3. Yes, it is. And also J is lesser than that of M. So both the condition are true. We'll be moving into the for loop. Now in the for loop, what we are doing is we are putting the element that is ARR2J. It means nothing but 2. 2, we are moving it to the left side. That is, we are moving this to the position ARR2 J minus 1. It means ARR2 1 minus 1 means ARR2 of 0. It means here instead of 2 we are placing it, we are placing 2 here. Now J value will be incremented, and yes, J is still lesser than that of M. Now we will check ARR of 2 cut 2. So the element at the second index of this array. What is the element at second index? 0, 1, 2, that is 4. 4 is lesser than that of 4 is lesser than that of first. What does this first have? This has 3, right? So 4 is not lesser than that of 3. So we will come out of this for loop. Now here we are, it means what? We have got the proper position to place our 3. This first was holding what? It was holding 3. So we are saying that, okay, AR of 2, J minus 1. What is the value of J? 2. 2 it is. 2 minus 1, that is ARR of 1. Put this first value here in that index. It means we have to put 3 here. That is at ARR of 1 position. You can see this is the correct place for 3. That is what we are doing in this loop. We are just placing the new element that we have got after swapping to place at its correct position in ARR2. Right? So this was the complete logic that we discussed. Now coming to the time complexity of this solution. So the time complexity of this solution is big O of n into m. This is the time complexity of the solution. So in the next video itself, we'll be discussing about gap algorithm when compared, talking about the time complexity. So this algorithm, gap algorithm, has better time complexity. So we'll be discussing about this as well in the next video. So make sure to like this video, do subscribe this channel, and be a part of our Telegram channel as well. And in case of any feedback, do provide your feedback. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Keep learning, keep preparing. And the code is even provided in the description itself, so you can check the code from there. Bye.